All right, good morning, you guys. Happy Friday. I am not overly prepared for a huge training today. I'm going to be completely honest. So like I just talking to you guys previously to during our power morning. Um, we have been really deep into our 90-day challenge. As far as adding all these extra tasks, doing all these extra things. And so I feel like there's been some overwhelm and stuff like that. So I don't want to just overwhelm you with a super long training today that's just going to make you feel more frazzled. So what I am going to do today though is just talk a little bit about reels. And so a lot of you, good morning, Amber. Hope you're
Hi.
feeling better, girl. No, oh. And so a lot of us, are a little bit kind of hung up on the whole real thing and feeling a little bit overwhelmed. And so I want to bring some encouragement to you guys today about that, how you can kind of batch reels, how you can just kind of hopefully make this easier because the thing is that reels are really important for also growing your network as far as if you don't want to be sending random friend requests and things like that. This is a great way for people to be able to see your reels and to be able to hit that follow button. And so we talk about, doing reels in your niche and all of that stuff, and that's great and you can definitely do that, but also the other thing that you can do, especially if you feel like your reels aren't really resonating. And I was talking about this with Dan and Michelle last night on the nightcap. Um I am going to start to kind of switch my reels up and maybe get a little bit more cringe, so to speak. It's really not that cringe, but it's like more than what I normally do. So I'm going to try to like do funny mom reels. And because you guys, like, I don't know why I think I hold myself back because I'm like nervous about maybe what people will think. Honestly, it's so dumb, but more so I think about like what my mother and father-in-law will think. They are extremely conservative, and I sometimes think that they already think I'm the devil as it is. So I am way more probably wild and outspoken than what they probably imagine their son would be with. So sometimes, and I do think they love me, but still it's always just in the back of my head now that they are friends with me on social media. And so I think that's part of why I maybe hold myself back. But the thing is that people really like to be entertained. And that's also what gets you a lot of followers. Sarah just did this funny freaking reel the other day. I was just dying. Like, she had tinfoil on, you guys, because if you don't know, like, there was this big, like, the national alarm system or whatever, and people were like, oh my gosh, it's the government, and they're trying to, like, all this stuff. Now, I mean, I'm not trying to like be controversial on this Zoom, although I will say that I don't trust the government and I do think that they are trying to do things to distract us a lot. But at the same time, you guys, like I talk about with AI, like we have a phone, like they're already recording us. They already know everything. If you think they're not, like you're insane. If you have a ring on your house, like just anything, like they are already tapping into everything. They know everything about you. They know your search engine. They literally know everything. And honestly, it's the same that goes for Facebook. Like a lot of us like are like, "Oh, I got to keep everything private because I don't want anybody to know blah blah blah." You guys, it's all searchable. It's all like, yeah, it might hide some of it, but again, I see this in the salon where people are like showing another person like, "Hey, did you see this person's status?" Well, and then they say, "Oh, no, I'm not friends with them." They're like, "Oh, well, look." And so it's like I see it all the time. But I digress. the point is though, she did this reel and it was so funny, and she had tinfoil on her head. You guys, it was hilarious and it's entertaining, and people like that. And actually it was kind of Sarah that like really kind of made me like rethink, because when I really go back to some of my reels and think about some of the reels that I've done, some of the most action that I've gotten on them are the funny ones. And so that's how you're going to gain followers though. Like if they see that reel and they laugh and they think it's funny, like guess what? Like they're going to hit the follow button because they're like, you're funny. And on top of it, then again, that's how, and then so to bring this full circle, so how you grow your network is to, for example, other than, sending friend requests, especially if that's not your jam, you can grow your network by doing reels. And then the content that we are putting out in the 90-day challenge and bringing value to our community makes them want to continue to follow you and to continue to watch your page. And then you close them in your stories, because now they already think you're funny. That's why, or whatever it is, why they followed you. Then you're bringing value to your page, which keeps them around. It puts you in a position that you are the professional and that you have a reason to continue to watch and binge your content because you're bringing value. They like what they're seeing. You're either helping them with tips and tricks, like all the things that we do every day, you guys. That keeps them there. That's also growing that trust and that like factor. And then when they start to watch your stories, now they know you, they like you. And then that's where we can start to close people in our stories with what we have, because now they're like, wow, I really have liked this person a lot. And now, well, what are those vitamins that they're taking? I want to know more about that. Go ahead, Sarah.
Sorry. My computer does that by itself.
Oh, all right. Got it. I was like, yeah, girl, go.
No, but I will. I mean, since my computer raised my hand for me, I'm literally not even touching it. Anyways, I had like 3 people share that reel. So that to me is like I just accessed all of their network too.
Yep.
Yep. I've been doing reels and they are super cringy and I'm very uncomfortable doing them and I don't like posting them. I post them and then I put my phone down. I'm like, all right, it's done. But my PPA is the highest that it's been since I've been with Lavelle.
That's awesome.
I get people in my inbox on the regular, like starting that conversation at least. And so I think you're definitely on the right track with getting out of your comfort zone with the reels, and they don't have to be hard. That's something else that people go, oh, I don't want to have to spend a lot of time on it. I think that reel took me 3 minutes.
Yep.
Like it was a lip sync, which is kind of like what I'm sticking with. I like to do office ones and, with Michael Scott and stuff like that.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Because it's so funny.
Yeah. And it can literally take you less than 5 minutes to do a quick lip sync and add a filter and put have the captions or whatever. And the more you do it, the faster, it goes too. The more you do it, the better it's easier for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for adding that, Sarah. And that's the other thing too, you guys, is that I want to encourage you is that, I will be honest. I feel like Sarah is into drama, and I don't mean drama, like drama, but like think drama club, theater, that kind of thing. And so for her, that might come a little easier than for some of you guys. But what I'm going to tell you is that it doesn't matter. Honestly, some of the reels that are the crappiest that I've done are the ones that perform the best. Because if you go, so I searched on Instagram last night, funny reels, because I'm trying to shift, right? These reels that are like, the house is trashed in the background, like trashed. The lighting is horrible. These reels got 63,000 views on it. And it just really reiterated to me that it does not have to be perfect. If people think it's funny or entertaining, it doesn't matter what it looks like. It just like it's just it works. So I don't want you guys to get caught up in the so sometimes on your explore page, you're probably going to see the reels that are perfectly aesthetically pleasing and they like look super perfect and all of this stuff. But guess what? Like those are on the explore page, but there are so many other reels out there that do not look like that and that are still performing at a very high rate. So I don't want you guys to get caught up in comparing yourself to those reels. But the other thing is that if lip sync isn't your thing, take photos from your phone and you can put those all in. And then what I like to do is just do like what's it called? Like a transition. And so you can make those photos go from one photo to the next photo and just make them look really cool. And so if you guys don't know how to do that, I'm going to try my best to see if. So I'm just going to use this audio, but I mean, okay, so I'm going to go ahead. Let's see. So I'm in here right now. Okay. And so, well, I'm going to back up just so you guys can see. So I picked the audio. And then down in this corner is where you're going to add your stuff. So I'm just going to go, this is my camera reel. And I don't know, I'm just going to add, so this is like, it added one photo. Okay. But if I want to add another photo, you're going to go to edit video. And then down here, it'll say add clips. So then I'm going to add, I don't know, I'm going to add another photo somewhere as soon as I find one. We'll add this one. Okay, so now
Are you on Instagram or your regular phone?
What's that?
Are you on Instagram or?
I'm on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, I always make all of my reels on Instagram.
I personally feel on Instagram I can do more than I can on Facebook.
100%. Yep, I make all of my reels on Instagram and then I have them automatically saved to my camera roll, and then I just take them from my camera roll. You can have them automatically post from Insta to Facebook, but I personally like to just repost them myself because sometimes Facebook might not push them out as far because it recognizes like it's just a bot like posting them. So I like to just take that extra step. I copy my caption and then I just go over to Facebook and then drop it in there. But so you guys can see, you see that little dot right there? That's where you can do a transition. So when you, whoops. Come on, work with me here. Okay, so you press that and then you have all of these options and you can pick whatever one you want, but like that one does that. And it'll show you kind of what it looks like. And then you just do that in between there because then it just makes it look a little bit more interesting. But those are all still photos that you can just add that transition in there and it makes it look a little bit more exciting and you can put it to the reel. And then once you're done, you just click done in the bottom corner and then you're going to see in there where it says, this is a little blurry. I apologize guys, but right here it says text. And then that's where you're going to go and add whatever writing you want to be in there and bam, it's done just like that. So I just added 2 or 3 photos to that, did a transition, added some words to it, throw up your caption, and it's literally done. So I don't want you guys to be overthinking this. This is how you can add multiple photos to one reel and just get it out there, right? And make sure on your reel, on like whatever you're going to say in the reel, make sure that it's something really like a hook, like something really eye-catching or something that like is interesting that's going to make them want to watch it, right? Because the more that they watch it, the more views it gets, the longer people stay on your reel, the more Instagram pushes it out. Or you, if there's something funny at the end, you can put a call to action like watch till the end. If you know, it's something to do with moms, grandmas, whatever, you know, you can put something on there like if you're a mom, hit the follow button for more. If you're a cringy mom, hit the follow button, you know, whatever. And so like make sure you're giving people that call to action, because when you do that, then they're going to hit that follow button and they're going to want to binge more. The other thing is, you guys, that I talk about is CapCut. This is what CapCut looks like. It's this app right here, and it is free. Of course, they have a pro version, but it is free. And so you guys, like, there's all of these templates, and you can just literally up in the search bar. Gosh, I wish that you guys could see this a little bit better, but there's a search bar up here. You can put whatever you want to put in there, and it's got all the templates already for you. And all you have to do is insert the photos. That's it. And then hit export, and bam, your reel is already done. And then when you go on here, you can also look for like all the trending. They have the trending reels on here. TikTok, they have travel, marketing. Who is going to be traveling? Oh, Michelle. So Michelle, they have the travel one on there. And so like, I don't know if you can see this one, but it says travel recap dump, travel recap video dump. So like in a one day, you can just go and put whatever travel photos from that day and then post up your reel of here's my travel dump of the day, you know. And at the end of the day, you could try to challenge yourself, you know, because you made the comment like, I'm going to be on vacation, so it's going to be really hard. But what about if at the end of the night, before you go to bed, you go to CapCut and you just go and do your travel dump for the day, and then you post that up every day consistently for 10 days. Like, think about, you know, how much that's going to help your visibility on social media. You could potentially get a ton of followers from that, just from doing your travel dump. And this has got the template right here. So all you got to do is just go through your photos of the day and just put them in there. Bam, bam, bam. The caption doesn't have to be long, like day 3 travel dump, like we're having a blast, or today's highlights were whatever. And then bam, it's literally all there in a reel. And like I said, people love to binge that kind of content. So these are all the different ideas, you guys, that you can do for posting up reels. And then also another thing I like to do, like I was mentioning last night, is like, so we were out on a walk, like on a fall walk with Cash on Wednesday, and he was playing in the leaves, and Rock had his phone out, and I was like, are you recording this? And he's like, oh no, I'm not, but I should be. And so I was like, yeah, you know, I'm like, because for one, it was adorable, and I want to, like, that was Cashton's like first experience with leaves. But and he really didn't know what to think of them at first, I'm gonna be honest. It was adorable. But I'm like, this is great, like reel content. And so Rock's already done a reel with it. I've done a little reel with a little snippet of it. And those moments when you just take a quick video are awesome. So, and I've told Angel this, like when she's out on her side by side and you're like going through the woods or whatever, you can just like take a video of that, because you can also put like something inspirational with that. You can, you know, whatever, that's very shareable content. And again, those are things that, like Sarah said, like that funny reel or that you know, inspirational thing or whatever, that's content that people will share. And when they share it, then you're just tapping into their network, and then they're looking at it. And if they love what they've seen, then they're going to go to your page check out your page, maybe follow you, or they're going to go through your story or whatever it is. And that is how you're going to drive more people to your social media. And that's obviously what we want, because this is the way that we can introduce people to Thrive, like, and getting them to do it in an organic way where we're not being spammy, we're not slipping into people's DMs, we're not just only sending random friend requests of like, because you guys, like, here's the deal, I will never friend request like just random people I don't like even have any mutual contacts with at all. But I get these friend requests daily where like they're from New York and we have 0 mutual friends. Like, I'm like, no, I'm not going to friend you. I don't even have a freaking clue who you are. Like, if I have mutual friends, I'm way more apt to add somebody in that regard. But like, I'm not just going to go through Facebook and just search for absolute random people to add to my social network. Well, but with a reel, it's kind of like a reel is very much like on Instagram, where Instagram, you are just following a bunch of strangers, right? Like, because that's just how Instagram is. Like, Instagram is more of a cold market. But again, that's how we warm people up in that market, is by getting them to follow us from our reel content. And then they go to either our page on Facebook or our grid on Instagram. They like what they see, or they're going to go straight to our stories, see what's in there, and if there's any value in there. And that's why I talk to you guys about not only posting just Thrive in your stories, because if it's only Thrive, why would any random stranger want to follow you? Because you just look like you're a salesman. You know, you got to be talking in your stories so that they can hear your personality and your voice. You have to be just sharing random things. And even if you don't want to share yourself, that's fine, but show them your personality. Is it funny memes that you're into? Is it mom things? Is it like, I mean, if you're a political person, like, you do you. I don't like to have a lot of controversy and like bring all of that negative energy to me, but my husband does. But he will argue till the day is long. Like, he loves politics, like loves it. So he will post that kind of stuff because he has all the receipts and he can source anything. And so like, that's his jam. And so, but if that's you, like, then post that stuff in your story so that people can see who you are. What's a really like the Taylor Swift stuff, like, that's funny. So if you're somebody that like thinks that's really funny and stuff, you can post that stuff. There are like just so many like hot topics out there, you guys, that if you're passionate about those things, post them in your stories so that when people go to check your stories, if they're going to follow you, they're seeing a lot of other things besides just Thrive. And that's going to make them want to follow you when you don't just look like a Thrive bot. I was going to say something else, but I kind of forgot. But with those videos, you can also just plug them in with almost anything, you guys. So, like when we're on a lifestyle getaway, I mean, I always, like, if you guys seen my reel yesterday, I did a mom reel of like, I'm just an ordinary mom until the music drops and then I'm like dancing. And again, like, that's showing people my personality though, right? Like, it's showing like I like look homeless here. Cause you guys, like, how often do I tell you, like, I show up in my stories and on the Zoom homeless? But a big thing that I like to show people in my story is like, I will take a photo of myself randomly when I actually am dressed for the day and have makeup on. And I'm like, just documenting that I don't look homeless every day. And like, I've made it a joke. Like, and so again, those are like just funny things that like people might not realize it, but they probably are like, and it's showing people another side of me. Like, okay, I look like a mom most of the time. My hair's in a messy bun. I look like a wreck. But then here's this other side of me that, like, I have this business side of me when I get dressed up and get ready for my day, And so it's good to show people this and that, especially from a business perspective. It really can show people like that in my niche, I want to show people that you can show up in both ways, right? Like you don't have to show up and be in my team and be perfect, right? You guys, I stress this to you all the time. I want people to show up authentically themselves. I don't want people to show up thinking that they have to be perfect. Like Amber, right? Because if I showed up looking like a beauty queen every morning on our Zoom, would Amber feel as comfortable showing up like that? Probably not, right? And I say that with love, but I know she is very sick right now. But that's the thing, right? Like, and I want to convey to my team and people coming into my team that you get to come as you are. Because in the beginning of my journey, it was conveyed that we had to be perfect on social media. And in the beginning days, guys, when I started this, we were really taught and trained like your social media is your business and make sure it looks perfect. And, don't do this and don't do that. And I don't get on social media unless my hair and my makeup is done. I'm like, well, I'm sorry, that is just not who I am. Even though I'm a hairstylist, you guys, I look homeless most days other than when I'm going to work or an event, right? Like, because I am just a normal mom on every other day that is just trying to keep my life together, right? And so that's what I want to show people, that they can do all of it. So I don't want you guys to get caught, especially in this real thing of feeling like you have to be perfect. Like showing up however you are, doing your reels however you feel best is going to convey who you are, and the right people are going to find you. So stop putting yourself in a box and limiting yourself of feeling like you have to show up in a certain way for certain people. The right people will find you. But the biggest thing is they're not going to find you if you're not doing it and if you're not staying consistent, right? So you have to show up regularly and continue to be consistent, because think about how many other people are out there that have never done a reel either. You guys, we're always thinking about that we need to attract these people that are like professional, like influencers or like Instagrammers. But what about all the regular moms out there that they don't do social media? They're not in network marketing. They have never done a reel in their life. Again, if you show up perfect right away, then if they want to join your team, they're going to think that they have to show up perfect. So it's okay to just stumble a little and not have perfection, because again, you're showing your audience who is not professional network marketers that they can do it too.
I agree with what Sarah said before. When I do a reel, I'll do it, I'll post it, and I'll put my phone down. Like with my workout ones now, it's like if people comment on it, then I'll go back to it. But otherwise, yeah, I just post it and I'm done. I'm like,
yeah. And that's what you have to do, you guys. You can't overthink it. You don't stress about it. Like sometimes I will do a reel and I hate how I look, or I feel like almost like embarrassed, right? And I'm just like, whatever, I don't care. Like, again, like if you think you can do it better, then you do it. And people aren't. That's the point. Like they're not doing it. They don't have the courage to do it. And so you can't overthink all of that. And again, some of those reels are the ones that resonate with people the most. When I was doing, and that's why I encouraged Angel to do her workout videos, or her, record her working out in the morning and do that as reels, because Angel is, I don't know, Angel, are you in your 50s?
yeah, my milestone is next year. It's the next one.
But that's my point. How many people at your age have already thrown in the towel and they're not working out? But not only are they not working out, you're getting up at 3:30 in the morning to get your workout in. That is extremely inspiring. So I think it's important to show that. But when I did the St. Jude's, what was it? The 100 crunch challenge or whatever. You guys, like, I am a mom of 4 babies. This was like about a year postpartum with Cash. I don't like how my belly looks. Those angles were freaking horrible. And I was doing these crunches. My belly looked horrible, in my opinion, right? And there was so many days that I was just like, oh my gosh, I don't even want to post this. But again, I had to remember that like most moms, right, don't have a perfect body. So why would I think I should have a perfect body? I am just showing up regularly and daily, trying to show people that they can do it too. I ended up getting so many messages and so many comments on all those reels of people just being like, oh my gosh, you're inspiring me to do this. Oh my gosh, like this is so awesome. So, what we talked about yesterday in our power morning of if we're going to do like a 7-day challenge, this is a great way too. It will hold yourself accountable, but it's also going to show consistency on your social media. For example, if you do a 7-day challenge, and you go on there and you say, you know, I'm going to drink a gallon of water a day, or I'm going to do 100 sit-ups for 7 days straight, or whatever it is, then you do real content of you doing that every single day to show that consistency and to encourage people. And then it shows people like how dedicated you are, how committed you are, and that is like really super encouraging for people. So I just really wanted to address this because I feel like a lot of us on here have been kind of in our heads a little bit about doing reels. And so I really want to encourage you guys to just do them, not overthink them. And I really also want to encourage you that if you feel like the reels that you have been doing aren't performing, or you're not getting a ton of views, or you're not getting new followers from it, or whatever the case might be, I really encourage you to like try to do other reels that really like that is easy for you to do, but like that conveys your personality. I'm kind of a prankster, right? Like people might not know that about me. I'm sure it probably doesn't surprise you guys. But last night I totally pranked Rock and it was so funny. Well, I don't know if I would call it a prank exactly. But okay, you guys, so he's trying on all of his outfits for Vegas, and I'm sure that doesn't surprise you guys at all either because he's kind of a fashionista. And so he's trying on all of his outfits. And so I'm like, he's like, well, what do you think about this one? What do you think? And then he would like have a shirt on and then he would come out with a button up too. And I was like, well, I don't know. I need to see it on. And so he's like, oh. And so then he would go and he'd put it on and then you'd come out with another one. He's like, or do you think this one? And I was like, I don't know, baby, you need to come here. And so like the one, he like his pants were still unbuttoned, but like his shirt was tucked in and he's holding onto this other shirt. And so he comes over and I'm recording him, right? Because I'm like, I'm totally gonna do a reel out of this, like talking about how he's like a fashionista or whatever. And then but I ended up doing the reel that if you guys have ever seen it, it's like I don't know how it goes, but at the end it's like, go best friend. And I like put like a caption by his face, and it's like freaking funny, right? I can't wait to post it. I'll probably post it up today for like a Friday funny. And he's like, he all of a sudden he is like, what the hell are you doing? And like, because he recognized like I was recording him, and I was laughing so freaking hard because like he's like, you weren't even paying attention to anything I was putting on. You were just recording me. And he's like, who'd you? And I wish I would have gotten him a video of the second part, but I'm like, this is where I want to shift my my content, because if you guys know me and Rack, like we banter all the time, like we're constantly just like bantering back and forth. And so then I wish I would have recorded the second half and I could have done like a part 2. But I'll just remember that for next time. But then he's in the kitchen, he's like, who did you send that Snapchat to? And I go, I didn't snap it. He's like, well, then what did you do? Put it in your story? I go, even better. He's like, what where are you sending that to, Heather? I go, oh, this is real content, baby. And he's like, are you freaking kidding me? And I wish I would have like had all of that recorded because it would have been funny. Like people think that kind of stuff is funny. I remember one of the best reels that I had perform was actually me and Rock talking, and it was something to do with like I don't know, like with our kids, and it was something to do like with humping like rabbits or something because of all the kids that we had. I don't know, it was something ridiculous, and I like just took a video of it. And you guys, we got so many views on that, and people shared it. And again, I'm like that, but it was cringe for me. Like I felt weird posting that. But those are the things that, and then there was another really cringe reel I did when we were in Cabo. And I can't remember what it was, but it was kind of inappropriate. And that was another one because Rock was like, he didn't know what I was gonna say. And so I just like kind of like told him a joke. And then like I told him the pun of the joke. I can't remember what it was, but he was like, because he's just like, you're so inappropriate all the time, Heather. And you guys, that's like my personality. And I like to have fun and I like to prank and I like to be funny. But I don't really ever show that on social media. So that is where I am going to start to try to, oh, yes, just remembered it. It was about the cost of eating out going up. Yeah, it was really inappropriate, you guys, but it was really funny and it got so many views. But so you guys, I just really want to encourage you to just show up, be funny, be yourself, whatever it is, funny, inspirational, like whatever is really easy for you to make content with. Like Jess, she's really sassy in her reels, like, and they're hilarious. And so it's like, just that's bringing value. You guys, I want you to know, like, making people laugh is bringing value. So don't underestimate if you were like a prankster or if you like to do funny things. Like one time my kids came home from school and I gave them Reese's peanut butter cups, but they were actually those like coconut mallow cups or whatever. And so they took a bite into these what they thought were Reese's peanut butter cups, and they actually weren't. And it was so funny, and their face reactions. I love to prank my kids. I have to be better about recording that stuff because it's super funny. So I've filled my kids' juice box straw with ketchup. And so when they go to take a drink, they get a mouthful of ketchup. It's the thing. My dad used to do this stuff to us all the time. Like my dad was a prankster. He would put like a hole in our pop can. So when we take a drink, it would be like all down the front of us. Like, it's just like funny stuff like that. Some people might think it's crude, but I think it's funny. But anyways, so me and my brother, we've always been pranking and doing funny things like that. So if that is you guys, then post those reels, like do stuff like that. So at this point though, I'm gonna stop carrying on. I think we kind of have the point. Does anybody have any questions or anything they want to add about it that we can help you before we get off? Anybody?
While you were talking about CapCut, I just went on there and it was super easy. I didn't save anything. I was just kind of playing around with it, but it was really easy to do when you're talking about the travel one. There's so many different ones.
Yep.
My only question is if you look, there's some of them that have been used like tons of times and there's ones not so much. Is it kind of like the trending stuff where you want to
Yeah,
catch
it's
them?
kind of the trending stuff, and a lot of CapCut is especially for TikTok. But I kind of don't really always look at that because the reels that I have used from that have actually performed very well.
Okay.
So again, I think putting stuff out there, like if it's for the right people, they're gonna find you anyways, for whatever you like to do or whatever that is. So I just really try not to overthink that app as well. Honestly, that's the app that I use, you guys, when I know because my goal is a reel a day. So when I feel like it's the end of the day and oh my gosh, I haven't gotten anything out there yet, I will just go to CapCut because it's so easy to import like you said, Tammy, it's really easy to use. At the bottom, when you click on a template, it'll have squares and some of them are like repeat, but like the transitions are so cool. And so like it'll put one in there and sometimes they're color coded, but CapCut already automatically adds those to the other spots. So if like one is red and it's like 3 of the same photos, it'll add all 3 of those photos to the red spots. And then like it does the whole transition for you. And it's so freaking cool. And so when I don't have time, I will use CapCut and just go and create a bunch of reels on there or one for that day, just so that I get something out there that is still me and still my brand, but that I don't have to try to take a lot of time to plan. Because sometimes too, it's like you got to sometimes find the sounds that you want to use and stuff like that. And that can take a lot of time. So the other thing that I would suggest you guys to do for that, what, did you hurt yourself? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. You hurt your foot too. What I would do is like when you're going through reels, just a random day and you're just like, you don't want to like, you're leisurely scrolling, right? Just go through and save all the audios and then you have them. So then on the day that you want to make reels, then you already have them saved, because that's another thing that takes more time, is actually going through and finding them all. So when you go through and do that, but so that's the thing, if I need to make a reel for the day, but I don't have an audio, sometimes it can take a long time to find an audio. That's why I'll go to CapCut, because then I'm not wasting time trying to find audio and stuff. I can just quickly create something and then I'm done.
That's
So-
true with the audio, because when we're out on the side by side and I want to post something, and it's like, oh, what audio do I want? At least I'll have something saved where I can,
Yep.
because half the time we don't have service when we're out and about. So,
Right.
oh yeah, I remember that one. Boom.
Yep.
So yeah.
Exactly. And for me personally, when I'm scrolling, sometimes I will just try to create right away, because sometimes I'll save the audio, but I'll forget what I wanted to like post with it. And so that can kind of be my struggle. I'll save it, but I was like, crap, I don't know what I was going to do with this. But then if you have that, then just go to the grid of that audio and you'll see everybody else's. And so then sometimes that will re-inspire you of how to use that audio, because you can look at everybody else's reel that was already created from that audio and then get ideas from it and put your own twist on it. So that's another way that you can come up with more ideas.
I found the other day too, I was on Instagram just on my wonderful day. I was just scrolling in on one of them where it said you could save the audio, but then there was also another spot where it says you could use it as a template.
The template.
So I was like, that's
Yes.
perfect. I didn't know you could use other posts as templates. So I hit that button, just kind of goofing around, and it worked out really nice.
Yeah.
That was,
Yeah,
I
I
like it.
noticed that some of them have it and some of them don't, but actually the one that I created last night, it had a template with it. So I said, screw it. And so I just did it because it was easy. And that's very much exactly how CapCut works, is with that template that you can use it just like on Instagram. So it just makes it a lot easier. So I just want to give you guys these tips just to hopefully encourage you to step into that, because basically what I really want to encourage you guys to do is literally, like we did the live challenge, I would really like to encourage you for the next 15 days, if anything, of all the IPAs that we have, my goal for you guys would be to post a reel a day, because you are going to see your business and your following grow if you really start to get yourself out there consistently with reels. So that's my challenge for you guys. Now give yourself grace if there's a day that you can't get one done. Give yourself grace. Don't beat yourself up and just pick up the next day. But that's something that I really encourage you guys to do, because that is going to grow your following, and eventually that is going to that's how your business is going to continue to grow by doing that. That is how all of the top people in our business in Lavelle. That is how they are converting people, is they are consistently doing reels, they're consistent in their stories, and that is how they are converting people. So it's super important, and so success leaves clues. So that is something that we're going to really try to get super consistent on during this 90-day run, is just being really consistent in reels and growing our network, and then being super consistent with the value posts, and then converting in our stories. So
Heather, can I add one more thing?
yeah, of course.
So the other night when that new site launched,
Yes.
the new e-commerce or whatever it's called.
Yep.
I was on there and just, I don't check my website traffic very often, and I just happened to see the button. I clicked on it, and I hate going live. We know that. I don't like doing it, but every day that I went live, my website hit. That one day I had 105 visits. For me, that's huge on mine, because I'm averaging maybe a couple a day.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
Andy was sitting here with me. He's like, what is that? And what did you post that day? So we went back and looked, and it was every day that I went live, even though I didn't mention my website or anything like that, my hits went way up. So when he saw that, he's like, you need to go live. I'm like, well, no.
Yeah.
So even if you don't like doing it, I know I have to push myself to do it more, and it's working. It helps. It's
I
kind of
agree.
crazy.
And
but-
that's the whole point, guys, is like we want to drive people to our websites. And that's what happens, is because if your live videos are public, Facebook is pushing that out. And so if random people are falling onto your live video, and then they're going to the link in your bio, because people by now know where to find what you do, or maybe they see it on other posts, or like whatever it is, they're going and creeping. And that's what people do, so oh, Michelle's going. Bye, Michelle. We're wrapping up anyways. 2 minutes. Okay, yeah. So does anybody have any other questions or anything they want to add? I'm glad you brought that up, Tammy, because it just goes to show like how our consistency and how all of that pays off. Angel, have you went live yet?
Actually, I went live on Instagram Monday,
Good.
but it was like at 5 o'clock in the morning, or actually 4 o'clock in the morning. But I did get one creeper on there, but that was about it. I thought maybe it would switch over to
into the
Facebook, but it doesn't.
No,
I don't
it doesn't.
know.
You
Okay.
have to go live on both platforms if you want to do
Okay.
that.
See, I did it on Instagram. Facebook, I'm still, I don't
Okay,
know.
my challenge is for you this weekend to go Facebook Live and drop it in the
Oh.
chat when you're
You
gonna
know
go.
what? You know what? I think of it all the time. It's like, oh, I should do this.
Just
I should
pull
do
the
this.
trigger.
And I have all my contents ready, and it's like, okay, I can't.
Hey guys, I got a poop mess. He pooped in his pull-up and it's everywhere. He took it down. I got a shit storm, literally. So I got, hey, no, don't touch anything. Don't touch anything. I gotta go, guys. Okay, bye.
Okay. Bye.